Good morning. Hi, guys. This is Vidisha Vithlani, and it's again a Saturday. And I know I've woken you up early because, of course, we don't know what day of the week it is for most of you all who are not working from home. For those of you all who are working from home, it's a good day to take a break, and yet you guys are here. So, if you guys are here, thank you so much. Now, today's topic is grammatical range and accuracy. So basically, it is grammatical accuracy, but I don't have a PPT and it's difficult to explain it. And plus, we have like a lot of backup on it. So I thought, let me just take you through this important band descriptor. Now, see, when I am talking about grammatical range and accuracy, a lot of people are like, how important is grammar in IELTS? How do you think? What role does grammar have to play? So, firstly, grammar has obviously a role to play in whatever language you speak. Basically, if you just understand, let's go back a little, okay? Firstly, what type of a test IELTS is? IELTS is a test to assess your language, and what language it is. It is English, right? So, IELTS is let's say it's a test to assess your English, and whenever you're learning a language, grammar does have an important role to play. So, yes, you have to know the basics. Your grammar has to be fundamentally a little bit strong. Now, talking about technically how important grammar is. When I'm talking about speaking and see, listening and writing are objectives. Basically, it has nothing to do with a lot of grammar. But coming to writing and speaking, where this comes into play. So, writing and speaking, how are they judged? They're judged by band descriptor table. Okay, band descriptor table, as in there are 4 criteria through each of this component is judged. Out of this, in both the components, one criteria is common, right? What is that criteria? That criteria is grammatical range and accuracy. So if your grammatical range and accuracy are not very good, 25% of your marks are at stake, which is a lot, obviously. So, hence, it is very important to learn your grammatical range and accuracy. Now, let's come to the concept of grammatical range and accuracy. What is grammatical range and accuracy? Grammatical range and accuracy is basically two different concepts. Again, let's split it up. Grammatical GRA, grammatical range, grammatical accuracy. Grammatical range, grammatical accuracy. Now, what is this grammatical range? Imagine you're talking to me and I am just going monologue. Like I'm just going very monotonous. I'm Vidisha, I'm a girl, I teach IELTS, I live in Ahmedabad. Let's say I'm going on like this. Do you think my language is fundamentally strong in this case? Do you believe so? No, right? You don't believe so. Why don't you believe so that my language is not fundamentally strong? Because I'm going in a monotonous way. The sentences that I'm speaking are of similar nature. Whereas in this case, if I demonstrate a huge, range of sentence, if I demonstrate a huge fluctuation, the way which I'm doing right now, what do you think? Oh, this person is fluent. This person, knows the language well. So grammatical range is an ideology where you employ a wide range of sentence structure. Simple, compound, complex, active, passive, interrogative, assertive, negative, all types of sentences are into play. So a lot of people again are of the thing, do we write only complex sentences? Do we write only simple sentences? Don't do that. Ensure that there's a mix. Like so for example, one paragraph has to have at least one or two complex sentences. That's about it. One paragraph has to have only one or two complex sentences. That's about it. Hi, good morning. Remember this. Don't like just write everything in your complex sentences. Now, when it comes to complex sentences, again, I know you guys have queries. What are these complex sentences? What are complex sentences is a concept that is explained in one of the webinars in detail. Not one of the webinars, like a lot of webinars. Just go to ieltstutorials.online and you will find a topic called Simple, Compound, Complex, where I have taken the topic in so much of detail, giving you a lot of examples, and you'll be learning it in a jiffy. Basically, it's not that the complex, I'll just give you an overview. It's not that the complex sentences are longer and simple sentences are shorter. It's nothing like that. There's a whole different use of conjunctions that come into play, which you will have to focus which you'll have to learn. So that is about the grammatical range. Now coming to grammatical accuracy. Now see, one thing I would want to tell you. Hi. If you think that you don't need to score above 6, and if you are sorted with a 6 band, what I would recommend you is, I'm really sorry for the, there are a little network issues out here. So I really would want you to actually have a score. I would really recommend you don't use your complex sentences. I believe correct sentence, yes, in my take, a correct sentence is much more important than a complex sentence. So if you think you're going to mess up the complex sentences and give a wrong sentence formation, don't do it. Just give a simple sentence and make it correct. That's going to at least end up with 6.5. Of course, when you're targeting above 6.5, the complex sentence is very, very important. But if you're not targeting above 6.5, please go for a simple sentence. It's going to be fine. However, if you feel that your grammar is good, you can write good sentences, please make sure that you're using the complex sentences. So, yeah, that was about grammatical range. Coming to grammatical accuracy. Now, what is grammatical accuracy? When I'm talking about grammatical accuracy is that you're grammatically very sound. You don't make any slips. As in, your tenses are correct, your subject verb agreement is correct, your articles are correct, your punctuations are correct, and your noun pronoun agreement is correct. So and your prepositions and conjunctions are correct. So I am giving you these 6, subjects which you will have to prepare: articles, punctuations, tenses, subject verb agreement, noun pronoun agreement, prepositions and conjunctions. These are the 6, fundamental rules which you have to know. I'm not telling buy a Brennan and Martin and just mark it up. That's not what you need in an IELTS. What you really need out here is knowing the concept well. So even if you're studying the basic of it, it's okay. I don't want you to go too deep into articles or too deep into any of the grammar rules. That's really not important. What I need you to know is being fundamentally strong, being strong when it comes to the rules and regulations of it. If you know the rules and regulations, you are sorted that wise. See, the only reason we are going to do this is because it constitutes 25% of your band descriptor table. And while speaking or while writing, if I know a language, I have to be grammatically correct. Okay, hi ma'am, please read out a complex sentence and then the same into a simple common sentence. You mean a simple sentence? Okay, let's do this then. Okay, let's take a simple sentence. The population of India is, so I'll just explain you the terms of it. A simple sentence has basically one subject, one verb, and one idea to express. Okay, simple sentence, one subject, one verb, one idea. Remember this. Okay, so we'll take up the population of India is increasing. Okay, the population of India is increasing. What is my subject here? The population of India. What is my verb? Is increasing. So I have taken one subject, one idea, and one verb. So this is my simple sentence. Everybody sorted here. Coming to the compound sentence. Now what is a compound sentence? Compound sentence is one simple sentence plus one simple sentence connected with the help of fanboys, correlative conjunction. So for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay. So coordinating conjunction connects two simple sentences. So I'm going to a compound sentence. The population of India is increasing and the poverty is decreasing. Population of India is a simple sentence. Yes. The poverty of India is a simple sentence. Yes. So when these two are taken into consideration, I am adding it with the help of a correlative, of a coordinating conjunction. That becomes a compound sentence. Are we through with this? Yes. So I've taken a simple sentence. The population of India is increasing. I've added another simple sentence. The poverty is decreasing. I have connected them with the help of a coordinating conjunction, that is for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, and made it a compound sentence. Now let's take it into a complex sentence. What is a complex sentence? See, if you realize, a simple sentence has basically one independent clause. The sentence is complete on its own. A compound sentence has two independent clauses. Both the sentences are complete on its own but connected with the help of fanboys. Whereas a complex sentence is actually something that has one independent clause plus one dependent clause. Good morning. One independent clause plus one dependent clause. So I have my independent clause, population of increasing. Okay, so now let's make it a complex one. Let's do this. The population of India, the population which was decreasing earlier is increasing now. Population is increasing now is a complete sentence, which was decreasing earlier is an dependent clause which I've added right in the between. Now see, your dependent clause can be either in the beginning of the sentence, in the end of the sentence, or in between of the sentence. Doesn't really matter. Okay, now see, I'll give you one more example. Megan and Ron ate dinner together. Now you are saying there's a conjunction here, so this has to be a compound sentence. No. Megan and Ron is one subject. So my one subject is it has one verb, are eating dinner. Megan and Ron are eating dinner. So Megan and Ron, one subject. Getting it? So this is a simple sentence. Megan and Ron are eating dinner while watching TV. So while watching TV is an dependent clause. Megan and Ron are eating dinner is an independent clause. If I join this becomes a complex sentence. Getting it? See, Megan and Ron are are having dinner. Okay, so now this is a simple sentence. Megan and Ron are having dinner and they are watching TV. This is a compound sentence. Why? Because both the sentences are complete. Megan and Ron are having dinner is also complete, and they're watching the TV is also complete. Now let's go to the third option, that is the complex sentence. So when I'm taking a complex sentence, Megan and Ron are having dinner while watching the TV. So when we're going for this, this becomes a complex seminar. Hi Abhishek, and Harnish will be very happy if he hears this. Thank you so much for thinking that the seminar is knowledgeable. So yeah, coming to the grammatical range and accuracy, this is how you can take a simple sentence and make it into a complex sentence. But first, for that, you will have to just know the basics of it. For example, as I explained you, a simple sentence is basically one subject, one verb, and one idea. It's one independent clause. A compound sentence is two simple sentences connected with the help of coordinating conjunction, that is your fanboys. Whereas a complex sentence is basically one independent clause plus one dependent clause connected with the help of subordinating conjunctions. Now, this entire thing is very well explained in a webinar with the help of PPT, with the help of examples. Please go through, have a look at that. And the 6 grammar rules which I told you, your articles, your punctuations, your tenses, your subject-verb agreement, noun-pronoun agreement, prepositions and conjunctions, all of these have individual lectures on IELTS tutorials online, and is available on YouTube. I would have done the same, but then I'm not using a PPT right now. The lectures which are there are explained on a PPT, so it's like very, very simple. Okay, so I think we are done for the day, and this is what I have come across, and this is something that's really, really important, and you should be, going through this. You should make sure that you're actually not just actually studying. You're not mucking up your grammar rules. Grammar rules are something that you really have to study. You really have to understand the concept of it. If you're not understanding the concept of it, you will not really be able to go through it. So fundamentally, you should be strong. Any which ways, this is something that will be helpful to you in your future also. And for a detailed webinar, please log on to IELTS tutorials online. Bye guys, stay home, stay safe, have a great day ahead, have a great weekend ahead. I hope we get out of this very soon, and I hope everything returns to normal. Fingers crossed. Till then, keep studying, keep working hard. Bye guys.